The Honorable Emanuel Cleaver II is now serving his 6th term representing Missouri's 5th Congressional District, the home district of President Harry Truman. Having served for 12 years on the City Council of Missouri's largest municipality, Kansas City, Cleaver was elected as the city's first African-American mayor in 1991. Representative Cleaver has received 5 honorary doctoral degrees, augmented by a bachelor's degree from Prairie View A&M and a master's from St. Paul's School of Theology of Kansas City. Representative Cleaver was a co-sponsor of the World War I Centennial Commission Act in 2012. Without his vision, this ceremony might not be taking place today. Representative Cleaver.
Thank you. First, I wish to thank the World War I Centennial Commission for inviting me today and express appreciation to the National World War I Museum and Memorial for hosting this event. First, or secondly, let me say that there have been some accidental statements in the media that this was World War I Centennial celebration. This is not a celebration. For those who fought and bled for our freedom and the freedom of other nations, there is no celebrating the horrors of war. This is a commemoration, a remembrance, yes, even a sacramental moment to lionize those values that led us into this war and to also win that war. On this day, April 6, 2017, we remember and recognize a choice that became known as the single most significant world-changing decision the country could have made, to move from a state of neutrality to war. It changed the way the world would view Americans. It is a reminder that when nations unite, there is absolutely no limit to what those countries can achieve. And by the time the United States declared war on the German Empire on April 6, 1917, Europe had been embroiled in battle for 2.5 years. The decision to enter the war may not have come easily, but it helped bring about an end to World War I. It was the war to end all wars. But tragically, we know that did not happen. Even at this very hour, the threats loom large. The greatest military leader that could possibly walk into the position of leading this great effort, General John J. Pershing, was born right here in Missouri. He led a combined army with European allies and helped defeat the Germans. General Pershing and George Washington are the only generals in U.S. history to receive the honorable rank of General of the Armies of the United States. Sacrifices came from soldiers of every race and religion. And although African Americans made up only 10% of the U.S. population, more than 350,000 African Americans served in the armed services. That's 13% of the total U.S. armed forces during the war. One of the great African American soldiers I often speak about to high school audiences is one of Kansas City's very own, Wayne Minor. Wayne Minor was documented as one of the last soldiers to die in World War I. Minor was killed performing an act of bravery. In the final hours of that war, he was shot delivering ammunition to a gun post under fire. Here at the National World War I Museum and Memorial, one can find the names posted on those who died in the Great War. This provided consolation to grieving parents, relatives, and friends when it was constructed in 1926 and continues to do so today. To look out at this audience and see the throngs who've gathered here today is a remarkable sight. Over 20 years ago, when I served as mayor of Kansas City, I made a vow to help restore this great monument. And with the help of community leaders like Ollie Gates, John DeCapo, John Dillingham, and many other others, we were able to do what you see today. Over 10 years ago, I recall when Ann Gorman reached out to me to ask that Congress create a World War I commission, a Centennial Commission. And if you know Anita Gorman, it is very, very difficult to say no. I was pleased to work with my colleagues like Congressman Ted Poe of Houston, Texas, Congressman Sam Graves, Senator Roy Blunt, Senator McCaskill, and many others to create the bipartisan commission. I could not have foreshadowed the impact that commission has had on helping to educate, honor, and commemorate World War I. As a member of this great community, I am proud that Kansas City never forgot the importance of World War I to our municipal history, and we are honored to host today's centennial commemoration. This memorial reminds us of the sacrifice, the service, and the significance of a determined nation. If we forget our past, we are sometimes able to escape, but not often, repeating it and suffering for it. So as we commemorate this delightful day, the 100-year-old decision we made as a world power, we express our gratitude to the families of those who served and who continue to serve our great nation today. We also mourn those who lost their lives in battle. The U.S. entry into World War I was a defining moment for our nation, one in which that will not be forgotten. And as we went to war in order to bring peace to our friends and nation, the best of our country rose to the surface. In my religious tradition, the Apostle Paul said that there is a great gathering in heaven. This great gathering of our foreparents. And so it is my hope that there is a great gathering at this very moment that can observe us praising them. And if that is what is taking place right now, the only thing I can say that would matter is amen.